I'm Chelsea Jo. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to go over some oracle cards that I pulled today to kind of help guide us through this time. And what I have actually to start with are some runes. I like to pull runes, and a book that I'd recommend if you're interested in it is called The Book of Runes by Ralph Blum. It's just a tremendous amount of information and wisdom that is just like spot on every time. So the first rune that I've pulled today is the blank rune. Blank is the beginning, blank is the end. And basically that talks about kind of how we're at this point in our lives where it's like a blank slate. We get to kind of rethink things, but also that we don't know we really don't know how we got here, and we really don't know where we're going either, but that it is telling us that we are on the path of our destiny, that every choice that we make is going to be very important, and also to know that destiny is not necessarily predestined, that we have the choice and the opportunity to shape that destiny and to choose which direction we go. The next rune is the Heyoka rune. It's actually about signals from the universe, from messages, chance encounters. I think it's not only telling us to be wary of our own personal space when we're out in public, but also to be aware of the messages and signals that we're getting from the world. This is called the Heyoka rune. The Heyoka is he's a Native American false creator god, like a mockery god, and he shows the world everything that it thought was true is untrue. And a lot of people, when Trump came up, said, "Oh, he's the Heyoka," and I think that that's definitely true, and I mean, it resonates a lot. And also just with how he's been talking about fake news ever since he started, that we've really entered a time of the boy who cried wolf, and this is kind of reminding us that even if someone is known to be dishonest, or even if someone is a crook or just a bad person, they can be telling the truth. So though we're kind of used to and in a cycle of mistrust with the media and with the government, that it doesn't necessarily mean that what they're saying isn't true. So along with that, I got the Possessions rune reversed, which says that there's going to be a lot of frustrations. What we thought was ours isn't ours, and what the things we thought we had control of, we don't, and we never did. So it's an opportunity to realize where real nourishment comes from, because we're going to be suffering some withdrawals from these systems and resources and rhythms that we have been used to and have been addicted to. The first card that I have up is the Devil card, which represents establishment, codependent relationships, which I think our relationship with government is always, and toxic relationships. But it is also something that we are very loosely bonded to. If you can see in this picture, she's just barely chained. She could move her arms out of that chain if she wanted to. And it's kind of difficult to give that message right now when it feels like we are under lockdown. But where the freedom is having the opportunity to kind of step back and look at the big picture of our lives and see how we want to create things, see what's coming in, what ships we want to jump on, what opportunities are actually out there for us. and the Five of Swords. Sort of leaving conflict behind. Normally in this card, there is someone taking swords with them, which kind of represent thoughts and truths that we've had in the past or plans. And in this picture, this woman is walking away from this conflict that's behind her into a sunset. So we're entering a time where it's okay to leave behind everything that we thought was true, everything that we had planned, and kind of just like, okay, let's let go of these things. We don't need to control everything. The Fairy Oracle deck says easy does it. Like when you stop trying to control, doors open for you. And I think that's, what's meant for us is going to come to us. We don't need to try to fit things together. What we can do is be the peaceful source. We can bring peace to troubled waters right now. If you see that you are more imbalanced than the people around you, let that be a contagion to others. Your positivity, your balance, be an example. We don't have to be the teachers all the time, but we can lead by example. We have the opportunity to create, to be creative, to look at our lives differently. Maybe in the past we haven't really liked the rhythm that we've had, or we have never really had this reduce, reuse, recycle thing under control, and now it's actually like really advantageous to do so, to implement these things that we know are important, that despite all the change in the world, the environment is still very important. It has always been. Using positive affirmations right now is going to help us get through this. It's the time to write those sweet little notes to yourself, to stick them on your mirror to remind you that you can do this, that you have potential, and that everything's going to be okay, and to take a breath. Something that I did recently is I downloaded a mindfulness app that dings every 15 minutes, and it just reminds me to stop and take a deep breath. It's been really helpful. A new home. So, this definitely resonates with me. I have been, looking around and really realizing, like, do I want to be here? If I don't have the same rhythms and work life that I do, if I don't have to go into work, why am I here? Do I really want to be in a city? Maybe you're thinking, maybe I want to be in the country. Maybe I want to be closer to friends and family. Maybe I don't like this climate. The fairies are saying that moving is the right direction for you. Shifts happen. Stabilize your energy fields. So now is the time to ground. There's a lot of thoughts and things, lots of feelings going around. Stay centered in yourself. Meditate. Know that this is going to pass. It's going to stabilize on its own. What's most important for us is that what we make contagious is positivity and groundedness and peace, and not worry and fear. We get to dive into the deep end of our soul. It's interesting that this is the falling card, because we are actually experiencing a tower moment where everything that we thought that we built up in life is kind of crumbling and being tested. And now we get the time to go within, to do our shadow work, to look at the way we've been living life and decide for ourselves, was that really what I wanted? This return from the underworld. So there's a lot of talk about, this is about stepping out of depression, coming back to the world. So even though a lot of us are keeping to ourselves, we can also be connected in more ways and more than we have in the past. There's a lot of companies that are saying things like, oh, wear your pajamas all day, watch Netflix from home. I've heard like prominent people in the media saying now's just the time to be on your phones and watch TV. It's not that time for me. I know how my day is best with the different rhythms, and so do you. And if you don't, then you get the time to establish those. So paying attention to how do you feel when you sleep in, how do you feel when you get up early anyway, because you don't have to, but when you do, how do you feel? The angel card, it's reminding us that we are watched over, we are protected, and also calling us to bring our higher selves to mind, to have the chance to rise above what's happening. You know, just because we are being asked to social distance doesn't mean that we don't need to wave at each other, that we don't need to reach out and ask if there's anything that we can do to help. And we have cat. So this card is telling us that when we take care of ourselves, we know that no matter whatever happens, we're going to be okay and land on our feet. So I hope that you found a message in this that is helpful for you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great day. Bye.